Hello, I'm Paula Danielli from Crochet Hookshoe, and today I'm going to show you how to make the easy crochet head sleeve pattern. And I've got a real live model today, my own mother Sandra.
Hello.
And she is displaying it on her head at the moment in a multicoloured colour, but I'll be demonstrating it to you in a solid colour just for easier viewing for yourself. Now if you'd like to do a turn around just so everyone can see. So you can make this head sleeve in any size, and I'll explain how to do that later. So for this head sleeve that I just displayed, I used the Red Heart with Love yarn in the colour of Autumn, but today I'm going to be demonstrating the pattern with Red Heart Super Saver yarn in the colour of Cherry Red. And as long as you've got a medium worsted weight yarn in the category 4, then that will be fine. So with any category 4 yarn, you'll be using your 6.5mm hook or a US K 10.5. You'll need some craft scissors and a yarn needle. The crochet head sleeve that I'll be demonstrating today is for a head circumference of 23 inches or 58 centimeters. Now if you need to make another size, a way to do this is to make your foundation chain and then join with a slip stitch, join the foundation chain ends, and just pop that foundation chain, because it'll be a circle, you can pop that over your head or whoever's head it's going to be for, and if it's nice and firm, then that's going to be the right size, and of course it's going to be less or more chain stitches on your foundation chain. But for this size that I'm making today, we're going to need to make 50 chain stitches. Now just leave enough of a tail that you can weave into your work later on. Now I'm using my 6.5mm hook or US K 10.5, and we're just going to chain 50 stitches loosely. Not too loosely, because otherwise it's going to look a bit silly once you put it on. You'll have chains flapping around on your forehead, and that's not a good look. So I'll just give you an idea here. That's loosely. It's not too tight, it's not too loose, just loosely. So like this. So actually bringing the yarn just up a little bit to make the chain slightly bigger, rather than a tight chain would be like this. So you don't want to do that. You just want them loosely. So if you're making the same size, or you've figured out what size you need, I'll let you continue on making your chain stitches, and I'll see you after that. So now I've made my 50 loose chain stitches, and what we're going to do is grab this end of your foundation chain and bring it up here and just lay it flat, and make sure that the front of your chain is facing up so that none of the chains are twisted. Now once we know that they're all facing up, then what we want to do is dive into this back loop of the first chain stitch that we made. Just get your tail out of the way there, and just make a slip stitch by pulling that through like that, and there we have a circle to work around. So there you can see where we've gone into that back loop of that first chain stitch. You can see a gap there. That's where we're going to be working into. So now we're going to work the yarn tail in as we work around, unless you want to leave it out and sew it in later. It's up to you. But I'm a bit lazy, so I'm going to work it in. Okay, so for round one, start off with a chain one. And then we're going to do one single crochet into the same space where we joined. Now, be able to see a gap. That's where you need to go into. That's going to be your first single crochet stitch. And if you're going to weave or crochet your end in, pop it over the hook like this and make your single crochet. So there's our first one. Now we're going to do a single crochet into the back loop of each chain stitch as we go around. So just into this, just into that one. Like that. With your yarn tail over the top, make a single crochet. Now we move on to the next one. Pop your hook into the back loop of that chain stitch. Got your yarn tail over the hook and make a single crochet. And that's all we're doing for this round. Now once you feel that you've crocheted enough of this tail in, you can just snip that off, as long as you've crocheted it up to at least here, or a decent way in. Otherwise, if you're not doing it that way, then you can just weave it in with your yarn needle later. So just continue on going into the back loop of the chain stitch, making single crochet, now if you get confused when working with a long chain like this, some people tend to get it twisted up. Now, as long as you can see that the V's are like this and on the top, then that's the right way up and you can't go wrong. But once you see them twisting around like this and you start seeing bobbles at the bottom like that, then you're working on the wrong side. So just make sure that you're always, I tend to just run my